Hi, in this tutorial, I will show you how to model assembly drawings, and I will do what you have in the chapter 6. There's different parts that we need to create and put together as assembly. So this tutorial, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. So first of all, I would like to manage a project. So, inside of my folder, engineering 230, maybe I would like to create new project. So if you go to desktop and go to I would like to make new folder inside, and I would like to call that assembly, maybe problem 60 assembly. Because you will see there will be a bunch of different parts that will be created during the work on assembly files. So you see, I will call this the same name, and now we'll have my folder. So you see, now I'm in the separate folder. So now whatever I create, and I want to show you a little bit different than in the book. I want to show you how you can do top-down assembly approach. So, that's interesting for design. So if I'm starting the fresh design, so you see new assembly, I'm making a new assembly. And you see, it's a little bit different what you see. So let me just turn so you see, we got the new one. So assembly, you see it's a little bit different. And we go there, when you see origin, we still have these planes and axes and everything, but it's a little bit different. You will see we have different relations. So if we don't have any parts yet, I can say create, and I can also create component from assembly. You can also do this the way I showed you before. You can create all these separate drawings. You see right now I'm in the right folder, and I can make part 1. I think part 1 is just some shaft. Not really sure what the name are, but I would just say um, part problem. Not sure. I can change name later. Part 1, let's say, which I need for assembly. So you see template is standard, everything. So I'm saying, okay, it's asking me, okay, you want to create this assembly. Where do you want to put this? And, I can click somewhere inside. And you see, now it gave me, now I'm working from assembly, and I have here my problem. And, I have a separate, so they're like two set of XYZ planes. One is outside and one is the part itself. So assembly has its own coordinate system, and part has its own coordinate system. So I'm starting to model a part that you see on the page 6.2. So again, they want us to start the sketch using this XY plane in the parts. You see, I'm not doing what I see outside in assembly, and I want to show you how it's interesting to work within the part when you are in assembly. So you see, when I'm in the part, I know I'm there because I only see 3D model. I don't see assembly there. So you see just regular modeling. They want you to draw a circle starting in the coordinate system, and that circle is 2. And middle mouse click twice, I can finish. I'm still in the part. You see 3D model. This is still gray. Middle mouse click twice to have a perfect zoom. And they will say extrude this by 2 inches. So you see I'm only typing here 2 inches. And visually, if I want to say view, visual style, give me shaded with edges. I will see my edges as well. And they will say move the somewhere there, origin. Okay, we have origin in both. So you see I have origin right here. So to expand YZ plane, okay, I'm in the YZ plane. So they want you on page 6.3 to do, be at you can show it. So you see, like I'm here, YZ. If you want to make it visible, it's very simple. I can change visibility, you see, like this. And I can always change that anytime, right click. I can change visibility back, so I don't see it. So they want you to create a new sketch in YZ plane, no problem. Right click, new sketch. So here we're on the side, and they want you, so if you move view from what you see right now, view, visual style, we go to wireframe. So I have this kind of thing, so I can draw something there, that it will look like this, what you see. So what they want you to learn new is learn how to project some geometry to a new sketch. So if we're in the sketch, project geometry is here. So you see project geometry, project cut edges. You have different things here that you can use for that purpose. And they were saying move so we want to do project geometry, and I want to use the line I have on the top. I want to use the line that I have on the bottom. And then before I use them, so I can turn this off by either clicking one more time there or escape. So you see, I no longer want to do that, let's say, or you click somewhere else on something else. So what I want to do, I want to switch what I projected to construction line, because maybe it's just showing me projected geometry. Okay, now it's projected geometry. And what I want to do, use the line command to draw a line on the midpoint. But let's say I don't want to be snapping that. How do I know if this is a midpoint? You see, like it become um, green when I'm there. So you see, when I'm here, green. And now I made, you see, now I made construction line, and I need to switch to the normal line. So you see, I select construction. So you know you can tweak that back and forth. Okay, and I want to try switching this to construction and the other to construction, because they just help me to build the line. And they want me to make here, so diameter with 0.5. Okay, I don't need this anymore, so I can switch this one to construction. All you do is select, select the line and then click on the construction. So, now it's kind of invisible. So they said delete the line that were projected on the sketch along with the central line that was used to create the circle. If after trying to delete the lines, they're still visible, don't worry about them since they will not affect any upcoming. I don't like to use this because I know I still need them. They're part of my geometry because I'm using my constraint. I like my sketch to be fully constrained, so I would just prefer to just select and switch to the invisible. I really don't need to delete them. They're now invisible. I use them for something. So you see, now I have this hole, and now if I exit, you see, I have circle in the middle of the plane that I show, which is YZ plane. And now what I want us to do, I want us to create a hole in this part. So basically I will go to 3D model and I will do extrude, and we switch to cut. You see the output is Boolean operations. We're adding something, we're subtracting. And if I put symmetric, you see I can have on both sides, and I can change this to be bigger, smaller. And if I switch my view to visual with you see visual shaded with edges, you can actually see more what I'm cutting, you see. You can even cut inside that it's not going. But I really like to use this through all option if this is going through all. I don't have to worry how deep it goes. So you see, they're saying bidirectional. They're saying enter 2.0. I mean, I said through all, so either type 2 or either say through all. I prefer to use through all, so I just keep it like that. And now when I'm done with the YZ plane, I can just say, okay, change visibility. You see right here, right click, visibility, and my visibility is gone. So the screen should look like this, and then they want you to use the shell command. So shell command is part of the 3D model. It's just another feature. So far we learned extrude, revolved, and we have here hole, fillet, chamfer, but there's a shell just right to chamfer. So if you click on a shell, it will ask you which faces would you like to remove. So you see they're saying move the cursor to upper left portion of the screen, select this, and now when it says remove faces, maybe if I say here, you see it will remove, it will create a shell that that is everywhere on the thickness that they're trying to tell us. So let's see, left click on the lower surface on the part and click OK. They didn't say, but I automatically got 0.1, and I think it looks like what's in the book. So we will just keep default version 0.1, okay? And you see what we have right now? We have a part that has a hole. You see, it looks like this. So if I click on the home, that's how it looks. Same as what they have. So they say, we finished that. So after both edge, what they want to do? View. Okay, I'm going to the view, and they want us to do look at, and then probably if I click here, you see, I see these two lines, and we can see from the front perpendicular view to see what we have from there. So what I want us to do to begin new sketch on this surface outside. So you see, I mean, I will go there immediately. If I say sketch, start 2D sketch, and I can select that, I'm now in the sketch mode. What I want us to do is just to make rectangular shape in the middle, but before I do that, I can maybe make my center line, here, one there, and you see I activated this invisible construction line, so I know I will use construction line, and I'm drawing the lines that I will use them to define symmetric things. So you see they're invisible, and now when I switch to the real geometry, I don't want to be drawing invisible. So you see, before you start rectangular shape, make sure you turn off this feature that I'm using, this option. So I have to turn this off so it's no longer blue. And all I have to do is to make rectangular shape. And you see, I can make it like anywhere like this. I want to make it so it's not perfect because I want to introduce you to one other constraint. It's called symmetric. So you see, I have left line, right line, and I have this in the middle. So I want to use symmetry, and I say left, right, and the middle, please align so you're symmetric. And I want to escape that, start fresh, and I'll say up, below, and what's in the middle. So now, look, if I want to change this, if I say escape, and if I go to the corner, you see, now it's perfectly symmetric. So, now all I have to do is dimension. They put here a bunch of dimension, but I just have to put half of them because I made this symmetric. So one can be 0.5 and the other can be 0.375. So you see, I show you a little bit more constraints that you had in the book. And if you want to see them, you can here constraint visible. Where is it? This one, show constraints. You see, I select, and you will see all the constraints. You see, and if you want to break this, you can just click on these symmetrical. You see, I click and I can just delete. Symmetry, delete. So, in this way, I'm no longer symmetrical, and I can just add whatever they mentioned here in the book. You see one more 0.5 and one more 0.375. So now that's like in the book. But then if you want to redesign this, change this, then you have to remember to change everywhere. But if it's symmetric, it's maybe more simple if you would use that option. So now they're saying use this option to cut, and I say, okay, no problem, fine. I'm going here. I'm still in my model, and I will say extrude, and I switch to cut. And then let's see what they want us to see. Use extrude command to cut back into the part and distance 1.875. Okay, I'm putting, let me see through. What do I get? Okay, so it's small, less than that. Okay, so I can say 1.875. It's probably going up to the last surface. So I think even if you use 2 and select that surface below, it should be fine. You see, like it's going, or you select up to this surface, you will have a same result. So you see, we were saving. Okay, so now they tell me what the file name is. So this is piston. So I'm going just to rename it problem 6.0 piston. Okay, this is my piston. Fine. I have a new name for that. So then they're saying draw a circle. I think they want us to do another part. I like when I have multiple parts, to be honest with you, I really like to color them differently. It will be easier for assembly. So I'm just making this one random color gold. And you don't have to save PDFs of each one of them for 3D. We'll just do assembly at the end, okay? So I'm closing this. So now, oops, oh yeah. So no, I don't need to close the part. I'm returning to the main assembly. So you see in the main assembly, I have this part as my first part. And then if I want to make another one, I will go create. And the second one, I guess when they finish modeling, they will tell us what is the name. Really not sure. Wrist pin. Okay, this is wrist pin. I'll call it problem wrist pin. Let's just call it wrist pin. Maybe later in assembly it will be easier. Wrist pin 1. You see it's in the right folder, okay? And you will see now if I want to work, where did it go? I need to click where I want it. So I clicked and you see now it gave me another complete another part, wrist pin. And now I will save XY plane. You see in XY plane, I will like right click and I will say new sketch. And you see they're not assembled yet, so they're apart. So don't worry about the other one. I'm just doing the circle and it's pretty much one cylinder, 0.5, finish. And I'm extruding that by 1.875. That's just pin they want to do. And I just can save that. Now it will, yeah. And I can make that pin maybe a little bit different color. You see the other one is gold. I'll make it just another kind of gold so they're not the same. And now I like to save backup things. Return, so you see I made two parts. They're still not assembled. I can just move them anywhere. They're yet there. And then they want us to make another part. I'm just trying to see what it is named so I can add good name from the beginning. So here it's piston case 1. Okay, so I'm going to create piston case 1. That's my third part. Okay, and then I click somewhere because I still don't have location for it. So they would like to do a sketch. Well, didn't say where, so really doesn't matter which one I want to do. So I would say maybe, I don't know, XY plane, right click, create new sketch. And I don't worry what is there. I'm just looking at what I need to draw. And you see they were driving it a little bit around, but I really like to use coordinate system and to have fully constrained sketches. So I would just make two rectangular shapes, maybe one like this and another one like that. And I will just do a little bit of trimming. So I know in this way I can easily create the part that they're asking me to create. Or I can just go like this and or just use normal line, you will get to the same result. So you see, this is 8. The big one is 8. This one is 3. And then this one will be 0.75. And this one will be 2.75. Something is missing here. Let me try to figure out. Okay, so what I can do, I can move this. Aha. So you see constraint, this doesn't know that this is horizontal vertical. And you see where's my X? X is kind of pointing down. So this will be, I know it doesn't look horizontal, but the way the system works, it's X is going down. So I can take horizontal constraint and apply to this line, and I can take vertical constraint because you see where the Y is. That's why I like to see coordinate system indicator, and I can add that to this line. So you see now it's fully constrained. And if I want to show my constraints, I will just select everything, and you see all things are there. It's fully constrained sketch. So I really encourage you to create fully constrained sketches. It's easier for editing. And now they want us to extrude this by 2.25. And don't worry if yours is not oriented the same way, it really doesn't matter. So now I'm just flipping this the way it is on the page 619 in your room and in your book. And I'm going to go to fillet, and they want us to have 2 of these, and the value is 1.125, like that. Okay, so this is what we have in 612. So then they want us to draw something. I'm using shift middle mouse click to go to this plane. So I will say, okay, can you right click? I mean, I think, yeah, so we can say here, I click on that and I say start 2D sketch there. And all we have is one circle somewhere inside, and I can dimension first dimension, like location of the center. So for circle, it's always location of the center and the size. So you see, this is, oh, it should be from the other one, but I think it's symmetrical, but still, let me do it how they did it in the book. So from here to here, this is 1.125. And then from this to here, this is 1.125. And now when I add size, it should be black, meaning fully constrained. So you see now that's fully constrained. I will finish. Next step will be use extrude and make through hole. So basically this, I have to switch to Boolean. I switch to cut, and I will say through all here. So I don't have to measure. It will measure that for me. And you see, I'm getting that part, which is shown on the page 621. And then they want us to draw a hole on the top plane. So you see, one way is just to drill circle and go there, or you can use hole option. So you see, select positions. That's one option when you go there, or we can just go like what they tell us, go to the up, and I can just make one circle somewhere. And you see, I can use this command. It's called concentric, and I can say, hey, these 2 circles are concentric, and that's telling me about location. And I'm just saying 0.5. And you see, this is yellow now, but if I say escape, I can convert this to construction. I don't need to delete it, leave it there, because it's helping me with this. So you see, with this, I would just add another cut there, extrude, and say Boolean cut, and then say through all. Okay, so you see, I added that one. So this is another part. So maybe I switch the color, because later maybe cyan. It's easier when they're different colors when you need to assemble them. I'm saving this. And if you actually go to your folder, you will see how that folder will have all these different parts I made from assembly. This is called top-down approach. You see, I started from assembly, and I'm having all these parts made within the assembly. Many times when you design, you will actually work this way. So I'm going, if you design things that don't exist. So I'm going return. You see, I have 3 of them, and don't worry, they're not assembled yet. They're just around. Maybe just first one is fixed. So there's another part that we're going to do. Let me just see what is the name for that part. I don't know. We will make it later, but let me see. So page 623. 623, there's a part. Save crankshaft 1. Okay, no problem. So I'm making a new create crankshaft 1 part. You see, I'm still in the same. I'm making another one. First thing it's asking me, look, select sketch plane for a base feature. It's asking me that. So I can select, in this case, XY plane. XY plane. Okay, so did it make me a new part? Oh, I clicked somewhere there. It doesn't matter. And then I go, yeah, now I select, I'm sorry, I click somewhere in assembly, so where it will put that part. So now I'm selecting XY plane and I'm saying, can you give me a new sketch? I don't care where other parts are, they're just somewhere. And they want me to make two circles. And I'm not really sure why they're doing all of this. They want you to play a little bit with these circles. So basically they're telling you, well, do one circle, do another circle, you know, to create some kind of line in the middle like that. Oops, escape. So they want you to make a line in the middle. No problem. Okay, I will convert this line to like this, and maybe so X is there, so this will be like horizontal. Okay, and then you can even say that these two are the same. So you see there's this equality here, you see equal. I can say, okay, these two are the same. Let me see. It's not selecting me them. Yeah, I don't know, like for radiuses, maybe I need some other options. So you see, they want you to add lines. I can even add lines. I mean, I can show you a whole bunch of different constraints with this. So you see, now I want to put a position of this. So this I want to put there. I want to put this point on this one. And don't worry, I'll change dimensions later. You see, I put that there, put that there. So now I know that these points are, you know, these circles. I know this sounds silly, but you will see what I'm doing. And then I can show you also what is tangent. So you see, if I say this is tangent to that one, and I say that's tangent to there, this is tangent to this one, this is tangent to that. So you see, now it's more looking like that shape. And I can even, so again, I'm looking, this is X, and this is horizontal. So you see, now it looks more like a shape that we have. You see, I'm stretching this just so you can see where the constraints are. And then I can trim here, I can trim there. Now I have this very typical dimension. So, you know, I can put here, it's giving me radius. I can say right click dimension type diameter. So right click dimension type diameter. This will be 1. And then this other dimension will be 1 as well. So you see, it's not fully constrained. Now the size is good, but it doesn't know where it is. So most likely I will go add this 0 dimension from there. And you see, now it doesn't know where it's on the, you see, it can be anywhere there. So I can also add another dimension to put maybe center here, 0. So you see, now it's fully constrained. So all of this trouble, all whatever I was showing you, could be easily done by using pre-made slot. You see, there are 3 different ways you can do slot. So if you pick any of them, it's just like so simple, and we will get the same result. So you see, very simple steps by doing 1 and 1. So pick whatever, each one of these will work. And you see, this is not, this is radius. So, I mean, if it's radius, it will be 0.5. But you see, these two are completely same thing. So, but in this way, I show you a little bit more constraints other than just making slots. So if I want to show you all the constraints are made, you see, we have a bunch of these different constraints. So I would just now extrude this part by 0.25. And let's see, they want another something extrude. So when we have circle on circle, it's very simple. Look, I can even put it there and I can make it 0.5. So size is there, but location is not. And I can simply use this concentric and just say, click on this circle and arch, and it will be in the right place. And I can switch this to construction, and I can just extrude this by 0.5. So I'm saying extrude, select there, 0.5. That's my other thing. So they say rotate the part again outside. You see on the other side. And do the same thing on the other side here, no problem. If I'm not sure, I can again make it outside, 0.5. Probably it's here at the center, but you know, if you want to make sure, you can just use concentric again, concentric. And again, the project line that I don't need, I can just switch to construction. So you see, in this way, I want to make one that goes on the other side. And I will extrude that one by 0.25. So you see, that's another one. So this is crankshaft, and I can also save another color for crankshaft. You see random color I got. And if I go here, return, I'm going back to assembly. So you see now in assembly, I have multiple files, everything I made. It's in the same part. And they're saying, so to create another sketch, to draw a part which will be cone rod. Okay, that part I will create, it's called cone rod 1. Okay. And I click anywhere, like maybe outside here. So it wanted me again to use XY plane to create a sketch. So you see, I select a plane, start 2D sketch, and now it's very complicated way of making a shape that we already have, but I think it's because it wants to teach you how to use these constraint circles. So, you know, like the all of these things. Okay, so maybe, I mean, in the way they're showing in the book, you know, do one circle, do another circle, do one circle there, another circle there. So many of them. Okay, now play, let's do concentric. Let's do concentric there. And I think, oh, this one is for equality, equal. So I want to say these two big circles are the same and escape. And I want to say again, equal. These two, oh, the other one was parallelism. That's why this one didn't work. So you see, I put all of these and let me see which dimension they want to have. Okay, that's it. So for the line, I mean, I can put lines outside, another line outside. And then I like this feature. It's called coincident. And I say this point at the end, I want that point to be on the big circle. And this point, I want to be on the big circle there. Same for this, you know, point to a circle, point to a circle. After I finish that, I will escape. I will go to the other side, you know, just so it's not on the other. And then I can use this tangent. This is tangent. This is tangent. You know, I go all around to add 4 different tangent. And again, X is showing down. You see it's vertical on the picture. So I need to say horizontal. I know it's not horizontal the way I see it, but I know that that horizontal will solve the way I see this feature. So what I want to do, we don't need this part of the drawing, so we can do trimming there like that, trim, trim. And then all we have to do is to dimension this properly. So, and also what I would like to do, I like to put line in the center. You know, this line is in the middle. So I can dimension from my coordinate system, so you know it will be positioned there. Later, if I need to make changes, this would really help me. And I can also do symmetry. Let's say this point, and the middle. Oh, it wouldn't work. I need to add another line from the center here. Oops. That's, well, okay, that should be vertical. I know it's weird, but Y is there, that's why. And then I can do symmetry around it. Symmetry. So this point should be around that. So you see what I did? I put everything symmetrically around. And now all I have to do is add all these dimensions. So Distance from the centers should be 2.25. Okay. So the smaller one, let's do the smaller one first. The smaller one, 0.5. And the bigger one should be 0.75. And we should get, and it kind of doesn't look, maybe here they put radiuses. Let me see. 0.5. It doesn't look circle. Oh, this is radius. I see why. So I'm deleting this. I'm making dimension, right click, dimension type, diameter, and that should be 0.75. Now it looks more what they have. So all of this can easily be done by, again, using slot and just, oops, I maybe need to turn off construction. So if you use slot, and then just do 2 circles. There you go. You do this way faster. You see, same thing. And then you use equal for these 2 circles, and there you go. You just dimension basically. So you see, whatever choice you make, how you want to draw this, as long as you have at the end. And I think here it's maybe giving me, well, that's basically what they want us to do, and then finish and extrude that last shape by 0.25, and I will make that different color again. So you see, I'm still editing that part. So I don't know, maybe some, oh, that is too much. Maybe blue. Okay. And then I will save this. And basically this is your model. And in the other tutorial, well, I think this is the first part, and then in the second part of this, I will show you how to assemble this in what you have in the chapter 7. But with this tutorial, I wanted to show you how you can do top-down approach to. So I will call this problem 6.0 assembly. So you see, what did we learn? We learned how to make different parts from assembly. And if I right click here and say open, you will see I can open completely separate part. It exists even without that main assembly that I made. So, you know, there's sometimes reasons why we will create stuff from assembly. And we can also easily assemble the whole thing in this file that I made. But I will break this in 2 different tutorials and show you. Basically, we will do assembly the way they do it in the book, but we can also assemble things here. We will use this assembly feature. So, you know, I will do it step by step. So thank you for watching. You'll learn a little bit what is top-down assembly design. Thank you for watching.